It's being reported that Velvet Sky, Devon, and Bully Ray are all negotiating new contracts with...
fucking hell. Oh, sorry. I've got garlic and herb dip everywhere. Oh, bloody, sorry.
Herb, not Herb.
Herb.
Herb is a guy.
It's Herb.
No, you have Herb.
Herb.
FTW Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the FTW Podcast, the wrestling world known as laughable glory. I am Harrison, and with me as always is Joe. Say hello, Joe.
Mike, you're an asshole. White Castle rules.
Does not. You are so wrong. Rob, say hello. Rob, say hello, Rob.
You see what I'm stuck with every week? I mean, seriously, people.
Stop acting so pretentious. You have that shitty thing you call a pizza. Lee, say hello, Lee.
Mike is just a general arsehole, you know, just get rid of the White Castle bullshit. He's just a general arsehole.
and while Rob does have, apparently, Harrison's crap pizza, Lee's still waiting for his.
I'm just... If at any point I drop out, I'm currently receiving Domino's, which could knock on my door. It's going to be good.
Mike from the PW Sports. Say hello, Mike.
Oh, sorry, guys. I was waiting for my computer. What were you guys saying?
And Garvin is manning the boards. Tonight's episode 124, coming to you live on July 24th, 2012. And on tonight's show, we have Raw 1000, the FTW Draft wraps up. And our top story of the day, Shawn Michaels has officially blocked Mike on Twitter. We advise you all to follow him in protest in his show. Shawn Michaels, you will not be dictated to. Do you know what the final offending was?
No, all I do is I ask him questions that, like, a fourth grader would ask him. But I
like,
ask,
how crappy is your hunting show?
No, I don't insult him like that. I just ask him, like, the worst questions, but I ask him, like, 50 a day. So maybe that's it.
That would be it.
Right now, he joins the ranks of Goldust and a few other local radio DJs that have blocked me from Twitter.
Goldust. You can get blocked by Goldust for asking him if he was bloody, you know, if he was in gimmick all the time.
Goldust, you're the greatest. I love you. Blocked you yellow mule.
Die.
Hey, Goldust, I'm actually one of the 6 people who bought your book.
If you're new to the show, check out FTW.
Just to get him to mention me, I told him that I liked his book. It was garbage.
If you're new to the show, check out FTWpodcast.com for more about us and how to get involved in tonight's show, as well as upcoming shows and maybe a discount on Goldust's book. You can reach out to us on Twitter, Facebook, voicemail, text message, email. All those links and information is listed there. So go now, FTWpodcast.com, and you can listen live at FTWlive.com. Live chat is up and running. Guys, we are so excited to have you, and we are pumped to have you on. But first things first, Garvin is going to walk us through the FTW, the debacle, the absolute...
No.
Yeah, this pile of shite.
It was season 2.
It was better last season.
It was not. It was worse. Well, no, it was much worse.
No, it was better last season.
Just get on with it.
All right, so season 2 finally ended. We went about 4 weeks. 14 weeks. It was actually a pretty solid season. We saw a lot of movement. Last season, we really didn't see any. Like, everyone pretty much stayed in their order throughout the entire thing. So, as far as wrestlers go, and we're just going to briefly go through some snippets of statistics that we found that were interesting. But as far as wrestlers go, the top 3 were Brodus Clay with 38 points, Ryback with 55.5 points, and Sheamus with 74.5 points. You can find out how we score all these over at FTWpodcast.com/draft.
Yeah, I can't believe that. Almost 75 points.
Yeah. Sheamus destroyed the competition. If he represented himself, like if that was the only member of your team, I mean, he was in 7th place out of 12. Just one guy. But let's go ahead and just go through the top 5. There were 12 people entered. All of us. A few of our listeners, including Diva Jill and RKO Voices on Twitter. But the top 5, Rob came in number 5 with 96.5 points. His top 2 scorers were Austin Aries with 31 and Miss Tessmacher, 29.5.
I will execute every member of my team shortly.
No, dude, I gotta be honest. Considering you did really well, considering you took mostly TNA guys, and they only got one show a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a huge thing for you, Rob. Also, you had Mark Henry on your team, and you never made any trades. So that's pretty solid.
Henry on my team?
Yes, you did.
Because I made one trade because I picked up Tessmacher from some. I dropped somebody else and I picked up Tessmacher.
It wasn't Mark Henry. I don't remember who it was.
Huh.
We can look that up later.
Spare me the pain and just announce who did what. This is painful.
Oh, okay, real quick. Scott came in 4th place, 97.5 points. Kevin, 3rd place, 107.5 points. Diva Jill, who's in the live chat right now, came in 2nd with 113 points, thanks to Ryback, really. He scored 55 of those points. He was 2nd overall behind Sheamus, but the guy who handled Sheamus in the draft, Mr. Dick Face himself, Mike Q-Patch Kupak from PW Torch, 161 points. Congratulations, Mike.
Thank you.
And that concludes Mike's involvement in any FTW draft.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When he wins first place, and you could have removed Christian from his team, he still would have won.
Yep.
And Christian was the 4th top scorer, right?
Yeah.
With, 35. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Santino was fit. How weird is that? Santino scored. Here, this is my favorite stat out of the entire draft that we did.
Santino scored more than I did.
Santino scored more than Cena did.
But Santino beats David Otunga and bloody goes off one-off wins, and Cena hardly wrestles.
But think about it. Santino, in our draft, which calculated, the way we calculate our draft, I mean, the details are the thing, but it was basically wins, you got 3 points, whatever. Anyway, Santino outscored Cena. Santino had according to our system, Santino had a bigger push than John Cena, at least match-wise. We don't count strike runs.
And he probably outscored CM Punk as well. I don't know. CM Punk didn't do too well.
No, CM Punk didn't do very well, but because once he won the belt, he hadn't done anything. He just was in segment after segment after segment with AJ and thing. Anyway, Garth, you can go on. Wrap up with anything else.
Yeah, you look at most of the champions, and they didn't score too well outside of Mike's team. I mean, Christian and Sheamus held the titles, and they were good. But Robert Roode did very poorly in the draft. But anyways, most wins: Sheamus with 22, Ryback with 17, Brodus Clay with 14. It's 3 points per win, depending on the type of win. The most losses, no surprise, Jack Swagger, 15 losses, Dolph Ziggler with 14, Daniel Bryan with 12. So since I think we started this right after WrestleMania, that's a lot of losses for those guys. Jack Swagger, he was 0-15. So when Cole was saying on Raw, Jack Swagger has hit rock bottom, 0-15 since WrestleMania. Crazy. So,
that's a shame since he's so talented and has such a great upside to him. That's a shame that they put him on such a losing streak. Serious.
Well, he's okay. He's better than 0-15. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
Yeah, but that was season 2. So Mike wins. He scored more points than anyone ever in the draft. Out of the 2 drafts that we've done so far. Season 3 is going to begin with SummerSlam. So right in the middle of August, we're going to be doing another live draft because that seemed to work pretty well. That's going to begin episode 127. Season 3 is going to go from SummerSlam to TNA's Final Resolution, which I believe is December 9th. We are making some changes. We're talking about those now behind the scenes, so we'll make those public very soon on what we decide. But we are opening up some more slots potentially. So anyone else that's listening that wants to get involved, get in contact with us. You can either email us at draft@ftwpodcast.com, or you can send us a tweet using the hashtag FTW Draft. I know there's a few people in the live chat who have suggested they want to get involved, but definitely hit us up on Twitter or email us so we can remember.
Yeah. And we'll set up a post on our Facebook page that you can go on and post if you wanted to be involved. It should be awesome. Think about it as like fantasy football, only better. So reaction to last week's show. Garvin, you wanted to lead us through this one?
Yeah, sure. There were quite a few comments sent in. The first one was from Gary on Facebook. He said, "It was a great show. Thanks for reminding me that Manchester Shitty won the league. As a Manchester United fan, hate you, Harrison. So glad that Kevin is back and back on his rants."
I'm so glad. Can I just jump in there very, very quickly? I just want to say to Joel Ross, and he knows if he's listening, that Manchester United will still shit, and Manchester City will dominate for years to come. Thank you very much.
This is so much more annoying than the Red Sox and Yankees because it lacks context for like 3/5 of the show.
Hey, Rob, go Wings.
Are these the same Manchester guys from the movie Euro Trip?
Yes.
I would compare them to that. Yeah, that's quite a good example, actually. Drunk, chaotic, and they don't know a fucking thing about football. Perfect.
Fair enough.
It sounds like everybody in the U.S. talking about soccer. Well, yeah, same thing. Whatever.
Footy, football.
Football is better than your shit football.
Okay, well, anyways, DJ Clean Styles, he says, "I hear a lot of hate about Lawler, but people need to keep in mind that WWE always keeps limiting what he can say."
They need to limit a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, that's something we have discussed. We're not attacking Lawler blindly. It's not like, obviously he's limited, he's fed lines, but he's horrible at it. He's just awful.
And let's not forget the times that Lawler just decides he's going to ignore what he's told and just goes off script anyways. Limiting a commentator only works if the commentator decides to follow the lines he's fed.
Yeah, I think Lawler's very smart. I mean, he's been in the business for about 40 years or so, but clearly he is just checked out creatively at his job. He goes in, he punches in at 9 o'clock and punches out at 11:05, and doesn't follow the product when he's not on. And I mean, yeah, it really shows in his announcing sometimes. I mean, he very rarely you'll get a gem out of him. He'll have a good night, but man, those are few and far between these days.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even, and it's not even when he does have like a gem, it's not even something that's accurate to what he's talking about. It's just some kind of like funny, folksy saying from the 20s that he just resuscitates and then throws it out there, and then it's almost like he has a bag of them, and then whenever he just wants to do whatever, he just tosses it out there. It's not like it has anything to do with what's going on in the ring.
I figured it out, guys. I think he's missing the other half of his vaudeville show where he needs the pianist. Play me out, Bob.
Right, like we talked about on a Saturday show, they just really need to shake up the whole announced teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dragon61 Rider, he said, "What's with everyone complaining that TNA signs WWE guys? I mean, what did WWE do 10 years ago? That they signed almost every WCW and ECW talent and had to double their brands because of the roster sizes, yada, yada, yada." That's not our argument against TNA signing WWE talent. Our argument is that TNA signs WWE talent and pushes them to the top, instead of depending on the great talent they have, like Samoa Joe, AJ Styles. They all got pushed aside. So like Mr. Anderson, Kurt Angle, Flair got all the TV time.
Oh, the best example of this is when Christian came. I mean, that
was an early on one, and that wasn't. I mean, the comparison to WCW is skewed because at the time WCW was like the top, and WWE they were both fighting for that top spot. I really can't say that to the world of wrestling that TNA, unfortunately for TNA, that they are not fighting in that. It's not the same kind of fight. They're not neck and neck. As much as we would love them to be, it's not like they're stealing top talent. They're getting guys that WWE is just like, fuck it, we're not going to renew your contract.
They're in a different league, TNA, a completely different league to WWE. You can argue all you want about the product. You can argue all you want about how TNA could have some better wrestlers. But at the end of the day, just look at the companies. WWE has so much money behind it, advertising power, etc., etc. TNA it's not got that yet.
And with that comes development. WWE basically has the infrastructure in place to train a guy basically from birth to be a WWE superstar. TNA hasn't been around that long. They don't have that kind of thing where they can really set up I mean, they have, farm leagues, stuff like that they can, farm leagues. Anyway, they have smaller venues that they can grab talent from. But to have someone like when Christian showed up in TNA, that was such a huge deal because it was Christian when he left WWE and came into TNA. He had all that name recognition and had all that, the news cycle of the wrestling world was all about Christian coming to TNA. So it's kind of natural for TNA to want to build on that and hype this guy. I mean, they did it with, they did it with Mickie James. They did it with Mr. Anderson, which Garvin's favorite guy. I mean, I don't know. I think hitting TNA about it is fair to a point, but you also have to look at it from their point of view.
Yeah, and I mean, look, WWE did bring in those top guys, but they still pushed who they had. TNA didn't do that. That's the big argument against them. So, anyways, moving on. As Mike alluded to a little bit earlier, we did do a show on Saturday. It was really unplanned. Harrison, myself, and Mike got together on a Google Hangout, streamed it live on YouTube. So it was a lot of fun. We talked about Raw 1000. It was basically a Raw 1000 pre-show, or at least that's what it ended up being. Some comments from that. From Ms. Mike 31. Why does that guy Mike on your podcast fly in a plane? He is stupid. He knows nothing about real entertainment and can kiss mine and C Nation's asses.
Oh, Ms. Mike 31. Oh, you got me.
Oh, that is brilliant.
Real quick, though, in Mike's defense, it was a spaceship.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, I'm a special guy, okay? I can't be sitting on a couch like you people when I'm doing a podcast. I have to be in a spaceship. I'm a fancy, fancy man.
Well, and he was traveling from vacation, so...
Yeah, we were catching him back from when he was in there. Yeah.
And
when he was busy.
And sometimes I would turn into a cat.
And a baby, and people said horrible things about you, and that made me really uncomfortable. The comments on that were not gentle. I don't know. They just weren't.
One thing we had talked about on the show was the fact that there really weren't any strong heels right now. Like, it seems like everyone's fighting to be the top babyface. So DJ Clean Styles says the other thing I think is a lot of WWE's heels suffer from the Joker syndrome, where villains are too cool, in the right, or just too relatable to be hated. And I think that's pretty accurate. I mean, if you look at Daniel Bryan, even throw like a CM Punk in that boat when he was up against Cena last year, Dolph Ziggler, everyone's getting behind those guys because they're...
But that's the same. But that's the same thing they did with Austin. Austin was supposed to be a heel, but the fans got behind him
because he's entertaining. I mean, that's the thing. If you're a heel, because
then fucking run with it. That's the problem.
No, the problem is, I mean, we have a safety with this. We know these guys are playing characters. So if someone's playing a bad guy character, but they're doing a really good job of it, we kind of rally behind them. Congratulations, Lee. Your pizza showed up.
Can't wait for that to be edited out.
But they're doing a fantastic job. We're going to rally behind them. I mean, you see it in TV all the time. I mean, everybody loves the anti-hero. I mean, look at House. The guy's an asshole. He's a terrible, terrible good guy, but everybody loves him because Hugh Laurie does a fantastic job playing him. And he's entertaining.
Yeah, it's really hard for him to play a drunk asshole. The problem is that damn shit got too old and should have been canceled years ago, much like John Cena.
That's a little...
I think a big problem with WWE's heels goes back to the announce team. You don't have anyone trying to make out these heels as being bad guys. You have someone like Booker T who will praise the heels.
Oh, good lord!
He's supposed to be the face color commentator. He's putting over Alberto Del Rio's. Oh, Alberto Del Rio's being a lot more aggressive. I like that now. Instead of saying that, oh, I can't believe he's doing that. Oh, what a terrible guy, and I can't believe he's doing that. Instead, he's putting him over.
This is Booker T. I can't believe that you people don't think he is the best heel that ever there was.
He should be condemning him instead of putting him over and making him out to be a great, smart guy for it.
The big problem is that Jerry the King Lawler used to be the heel in the tandem, and he's a face, and you've got nobody as a heel.
Yeah, that's where, that's where JR and King really excelled when they were a commentating team is that JR could really sell you on this guy is the most evil son of a bitch that ever walked the earth, and
usually by saying that exact phrase, but yeah,
usually by saying that this is the most evil thing.
Evil son of a bitch you've ever seen.
By God,
by God, a little slobber knocker.
And then you'd have King say, "Well, JR, I think you're being an asshole." Usually those exact words.
Yeah. No, it's no, Rob. You're absolutely right. The problem is they got Cole playing both sides and Lawler's checked out, and even like last night. I mean, when Cole is like sitting there chatting, I'm so excited to be talking to Charlie Sheen, and then later on he's got to sell. I mean, and then he's got to sell a heel, sell a face, and and then he's got to play his heel persona at times, and then other times at not, and it really waters it down.
I thought Cole did a really good job last night. He played the straight guy throughout the whole show as much as I can remember. He didn't go to his heel persona at all, and I thought he did a great job as just being just the lead announcer.
Do you think that's his big problem?
Well, I think the hard part is when you have a I mean, you got to admit Cole's more the play-by-play guy.
Oh yeah,
even though WWE's kind of getting away from actually having a play-by-play guy. They're both pretty much commenting on anything else but the action in the ring. But with him being more of the play-by-play guy, I think it's a lot harder for people to comprehend a heel play-by-play guy as opposed to a heel color guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was such a good, it used to work just so well. I remember, Jim Ross and Paul Heyman when he did his short stint as a commentator. That was great. I mean, Paul Heyman was really putting the heels over, and him and JR just had such great chemistry. I think they could really go a long way bringing back over-the-top heel color commentator. Someone to play that Bobby Heenan role.
Not as a lead, though. Not like...
No, definitely not. As
it doesn't work.
Just color.
The lead has to be a straight announcer, so not Harrison, who...
Oh, wait, that was a gay joke. I thought it was because I would give too much color commentary, which is, I guess, another gay joke.
Yeah. I lost my point.
That's okay, buddy.
They just need that lead announcer to sell their shows, be able to sell their pay-per-views that the fans trust, and right now they don't have any commentator outside of JR who comes in every so often, every few months to call one match. They have no one no announcer they can trust. They don't have a Gordon Soley or a Jim Ross.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
All right. The final comments from the Hangout. Gary and Lee Fan 1. I wonder who that guy is. Anyways, they said, Garvin, the beard rocks. I know. And that was it. So the Hangout, we may or may not do more of those on upcoming weekends. We'll let you know, though. We'll let you definitely know ahead of time instead of the day before. So. Yeah,
and we'll try and solicit topics from you guys too about what you'd like us to talk about.
I think
cool. Ask the hosts would be fun.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping the Hangouts would be. It'd be like more of a loose discussion that we would have with the fans and like elicit their opinions too. And then it wouldn't be so much like, we could make a Q&A section about it that would be kind of interesting, but I was hoping for most of it would be a lot more, because a lot of this, we're giving our opinion, we're soliciting the fans, discussing it, then moving on. And I wanted there to be more about us, all of us, sitting down like a round table and discussing whatever topic we want to do or talk about. But anyway, we're still, that was more of a test run. It was a lot of fun. Probably do it again in the future, so we'll definitely keep you guys updated. I'm glad you guys liked it, because it was a lot of fun, especially with Mike in a spaceship, not so much as a cat. That was weird. If you want to react to this show and upcoming shows, you can do so by commenting on the video on YouTube or reach out to us on via Twitter or Facebook. It's a lot of fun. We'll read them and react to them on the show. But first, time to dive into Impact Wrestling. Rob, last Thursday.
Mate.
Yeah. So here we are. Bound for Glory series starting to heat up. I mean, that was pretty much the entire card was Bound for Glory series. How you liking this thing shaping up so far?
I'm liking the tournament the way it's going. It's really turning out to be interesting to watch with who's moving up in the standings and whatnot. I think the one downside to Impact Wrestling on Thursday night was they overplayed the Aces and Eights coming out and beating the shit out of everybody.
Yeah, we got some reaction to that about that too. Yeah, it seemed like they really, I mean, they kind of knew something that was, they knew that they had something, and then they just overplayed their hand.
Yeah.
So the one question I had for you, Rob, it happened. It finally happened. Robbie E got a win.
By DQ.
It's still a win. It's 5 points. Come on, Rob.
Yes. Yes, but he did actually get points. And celebrated as if he had won the fucking Super Bowl.
Well, he basically did. It's Robbie E. He got points.
If I was Robbie E, I'd be celebrating until bloody next week. 5
Finish
points.
First, Lee. Damn it.
Chew first, Lee.
Chad's saying cat's better than spaceship. Obviously, they did not see Mike as a cat. It's gross. I mean, Bound for Glory series, it's starting to dominate the card pretty heavily. But Austin Aries defeating Bobby Roode via DQ. Does it seem like they're kind of just putting that in a holding pattern until the series settles down and we get James Storm back? I mean, it seems like, what do you think is going on with Austin Aries and Bobby Roode and James Storm and all that stuff?
Honestly, I get the feeling as I watch this go on, I get the feeling as though TNA is kind of debating what they want to do. Do they want to push Austin Aries versus Bobby Roode? I mean, we know. Do they want to push Bobby Roode versus James Storm and send somebody else up against Austin Aries like a Samoa Joe or an AJ Styles? I think they're debating over who they want to have win the Bound for Glory series tournament and go on, and that is going to affect who feuds with who over the coming months. Right now, TNA is in a spot where they can afford to play around with options for a little bit and see which one the fans seem to respond to a little bit more, but they're also going to be getting to a point within a week or two where they're going to have to make a decision and start pushing in that direction.
Okay, well then who would you, who do you think they should go with?
I believe TNA should drop the storyline that AJ Styles is currently in, the shitty one. And
God.
I think, and I would push AJ Styles getting a shot at Austin Aries at some point in time. Given the standings, I think it would be hard for him to have AJ Styles actually win the tournament. But I think Samoa Joe versus Austin Aries at Bound for Glory would be fucking epic.
Oh, absolutely.
Or you could have somebody like a Kurt Angle versus Austin Aries at Bound for Glory.
That'd be pretty cool. Well, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it shakes out. I kind of like your theory. I don't think anybody really wants to see AJ Styles in the storyline any longer. From the chat, interesting theory. I want to pass it by you real quick. They want to say Joey Ryan will reveal himself as the leader of the Aces and Eights at the next open night at the next open fight night. What do you think about that?
Meh.
What's Aces and Eights?
It's the new version of the Main Event Mafia.
Oh, okay. I really had no idea.
That's an interesting theory. I could see it happening. TNA did seem to go out of their way to point out that nobody on the current roster is running the Aces and Eights because they led us to believe that Bobby Roode had some connection with them. Mm-hmm. But then the Aces and Eights beat the shit out of him too. So that would make for an interesting storyline turn. Would be a good way to use Joey Ryan, maybe.
You don't sound enthused, though.
What was that?
You don't sound enthused. It doesn't really seem like something you're really behind. It seems like you're like, well, it's an interesting direction. It doesn't seem like something that would really get you going. What would you how would you rather have them play Aces and Eights? Do you want them to? God forbid, do you want to bring out Sting again for something like that?
Well,
no. The problem is they're probably going to involve Bischoff in something like that.
Yeah, that's the other thing. We had some stuff about that. Bischoff was thrown around. Jeff Jarrett was thrown around too.
Yeah, I've been hearing the Jeff Jarrett theory lately, and that's why I don't sound enthused about the Joey Ryan. I see the Aces and Eights as a way to reintroduce Jeff Jarrett, and I could not be less enthused about that option. I seriously couldn't. Because it's just as TNA is doing well, just as TNA is building and moving in the right direction, here will come Jeff Jarrett to kill it all.
Let the ring to King too, which would be kind of interesting to see them make the cross from there. All right, so Impact, it's been doing really, really well as far as things have been going. I mean, DirecTV watchers unable to see it notwithstanding. What do you think about Impact? I mean, are you happy with the direction that it's going in?
Yeah, I mean, overall they're producing good shows, even on their on the quote unquote down weeks they're having. They're still producing solid wrestling matches and everything. The AJ storyline sucks, but they're making up for that with solid wrestling matches. Overall, it's going really well. And the Bound for Glory series tournament has been fucking amazing this year. I mean, they're constantly surprising and doing new shit with that.
Yeah, Robbie, you got some points. Go figure. All right, cool, man. Thanks. So, Joe, SmackDown. Favorite thing about SmackDown?
My favorite thing about SmackDown was the opening bout. It was the primetime players, Hunico and Camacho, beating Primo, Epico, Kofi Kingston, and R-Truth. I just like tag team wrestling. Something. Huh?
You're going to get a lot of it on SmackDown.
Of course. I mean, you get anywhere near a Teddy Long, and you're getting tag team wrestling.
Do you think he's like frustrated he can't convince his wife to do a three-way, so he's taking it out at work? It was just constant tag team wrestling because that's what he wants.
There is no words for that.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
holla holla, play! I want to Eiffel Tower my wife. No. No, but anyway, so show continued. Damian Sandow beat Zack Ryder. Not surprised by that one. Kane beat Daniel Bryan by DQ. Heath Slater got his ass handed to him by Animal.
Yeah.
And then the main event.
They couldn't dig up Hawk.
Yeah. Oh, come on, Mike. That's bad. See Animal come out. Just Animal.
I do have a picture where I'm standing in the middle of Hawk and Ahmed Johnson. I should really find that and put that on the Facebook page.
Or at least they could have had a roll in from Darren Drozdov.
That's for Raw.
Are you feeling all right today?
No, he's just being an ass.
No,
then again, I haven't made an Owen Hart joke in probably about a month. So, yeah, the main event, Sheamus and Rey Mysterio beat Alberto Del Rio and Dolph Ziggler by DQ. So, Mike, I got to ask, being that you're PW Torch's guy for SmackDown, what did you think of the show?
I thought it was a boring show. It was a very lame duck, just getting to Raw 1000, where they really started the SummerSlam hype. The main event I was looking forward to. I didn't think it delivered. Rumor has it that, or it's being reported that Rey Mysterio is not exactly 100%. He was seen limping back to the locker room last night after his match on Raw, where he really didn't do much anyway.
Mysterio injured? Gee, who would have thought that?
Yeah, really?
And a knee injury? No.
Are you sure?
I thought the segment with AJ and Daniel Bryan had potential, but it just seemed to not really go anywhere. And like I said, it just seemed like a lame duck show.
Okay, I got some chum from the chat to throw at you guys. Chat saying I barely remember SmackDown last week. I think that's the case. I think WWE knew that whatever they did on the show was going to be forgotten after Raw 1000 anyway. Chat saying SmackDown was a decent show from what they saw. Another person saying it was good. Bro Kick is the new RKO. I don't think so, because I don't remember DDP doing that one.
The NWO did not hire top scientists to try to figure out how to block the Bro Kick from any angle, like they did the Diamond Cutter.
So I mean, was there anything really to learn? I mean, Primetime Players got a win, so I mean that's something to come out of SmackDown with. That's kind of interesting.
Oh, go ahead, Lee.
I was just going to say, yeah, the tag team champions lost, and they weren't even on Raw.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you probably got to hang your head low if Hunico and Camacho somehow get a win over you.
Yeah,
I don't know what's worse, being someone who loses to Hunico and Camacho, or being someone who loses to Hawkins and Tyler Rex.
I don't know.
Even though I like both those guys, yeah.
They're not. Yeah, I don't know. You're right, Jed. There's just something about those two together. It just doesn't really. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be clicking very well. I think the WWE is kind of figuring that out, which is kind of weird.
See, I'm on the flip side. I think they're brilliant together.
Really?
I like them together, and I don't think that WWE really wants to do anything with them. I don't think they want to invest any time for the fans to get behind them.
That's probably a fair assessment.
In any capacity besides jobbing.
Yeah, jobbing, and then have AW build some heat for him. Yeah, Kofi Kingston.
Wait, well, wrong tag team.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Anyway, so is there anything to read in the tea leaves by the fact that Kofi Kingston and R-Truth? I mean, like Lee said, they're the tag team champions and they lost. I mean,
they didn't get pinned though.
Yeah, I don't think they have anything for him. I really don't. There's no real tag teams. Realistically, there's no real, people who can actually challenge.
Treading water.
Yeah.
One thing that was surprising me on SmackDown was Damian Sandow just squashing Zack Ryder. I thought they had potential for like a mini feud that would even be like a good YouTube opening match. They had good chemistry a few weeks ago on that live SmackDown in that backstage segment. I thought they would try to build more from that, but looks like Zach is back on his back to his old jobbing ways. Yeah. Looks like that push is over.
I guess you drink a little too much Jesus juice, Mike.
All right, so anything else for SmackDown, or are we ready to move on to the 3,000-pound elephant in the room?
Hey.
Lee's Pizza?
Yeah, Lee's Pizza.
No, it didn't have the stuffed crusts.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was really annoying.
From all of us at the FTW podcast, we give our condolences to Lee's Pizza.
For not having
stuff. Thanks. Well, yeah, thank you very much, considering it costs 3 times as more over here than it does over there. Dickheads.
It's shipping. It's got to make it all the way across the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a while, man.
Did you ask him to cut it into an equilateral triangle? No.
What?
Yeah.
Google it. Raw 1000. They did it. It was probably it was easily the most hyped Raw in the history of WWE, aside from when they hit 2000. Probably more hyped than most pay-per-views, with the exception of maybe WrestleMania. And I just want to know from everybody here, did it deliver?
Yes.
Completely.
I mean, if you were looking for any kind of little dig at that Raw, then you can't be a fan. I don't get it. This show was built up to be fun. You can see it. When McMahon came out for the first minute, you knew damn well that this was going to be a show that you're going to talk about for a long time, and it was. It was really, really good.
If you want to know why the tagline to this show is the wrestling world in all its laughable glory, that Raw is why. Because, Lee, you're absolutely right. It was the WWE taking a victory lap. That's all it was. It was them going around, waving to the crowd, waving the flag, just going, we did it. And, for a birthday party like it was, yeah, it was fun. I mean, there's honestly too much to talk about with everything that happened on there, or stuff that people think didn't happen, like the fact that Stone Cold did not make an appearance on the show.
Wow. Dude's filming a movie. Fuck it.
It's because he was filming.
He had surgery.
Yeah, the story. He posted a blog today saying that he had surgery back on July 2nd, and he just could not make it out to Raw.
Yeah,
he said it was his choice.
Yeah, which is, you don't want to make it out there and look like crap. Well, Lee, first things first, DX coming back, and then interrupted by Sandow. But there they were. You heard the music, you saw the thing, everything.
Yeah, the crowd all night were a bit up and down, really. I thought the crowd would be a hell of a lot more buzzing than they were, to be brutally honest. But seeing DX and that when the army truck came out again, it was brilliant, wasn't it? Billy Gunn, X-Pac talked a little bit. Funny is the word I'll use.
Stoned or drunk or both. He
Stoned
was clearly not there.
He was just enjoying himself, I think. Then again,
Sure.
so he. But Billy Gunn as well. He played his role quite well. I think if you want to argue about it, then maybe it went on a minute too long. But no, it's just stupid stuff. When Stand Up came out, you just knew his ass was going to get kicked, and it was good TV, wasn't it? It was a good way to start as well. It really, really set the tone.
Yeah, absolutely. So then does anybody else have any problems with? It was just, I don't know. It was, for me, the DX reunion was just like one of those things where you just kind of look at it and you go, wow, yeah, I remember when I really, really loved wrestling. It was just to watch these guys riffing on each other. The chat's kind of, I don't want to say shitting on it, but chat's saying DX was nothing more than a geriatric stand-up routine.
But you know what? That's the only way I will tolerate HBK returning in any capacity anymore.
Yeah, it's like, they just came out and they said, everybody remember when we did this.
Yep,
and now that's what Raw 1000 was meant to be. Raw 1000 was just a nostalgia show. They threw in a little bit, the other newer guys. They left a hook for the show to try to get those watchers that people that are watching back in the late 90s, early 2000s to try it again with that Punk heel turn at the end. Oops, sorry, spoiler.
Yeah, if you were looking for like a story-driven show and every segment has to be perfect, then I don't really know why you're watching, to be honest.
Yeah, Chet's saying it was supposed to be ushering it out one era and bringing in a new one. Too much filler, too many spots. That wasn't it at all. It was a victory lap. It was them looking back at what they've done and go, remember, come on, they had the hand. They brought back the...
That was the funniest thing ever. God almighty. I absolutely laughed my ass off for 5 minutes after that.
I had to rewind it. I refuse to believe that happened. It was just so absurd. And it's like, wow.
That's one of the many reasons that episode is still sitting on my DVR.
Oh, God, yeah. They got to release it as a standalone DVD. It was just so... Just that scene alone. It was seriously... Mass Wrestler on Grantland put it the best when he originally described that segment. He said it was a wink and a middle finger to the fans. That's what that was. That was going, remember when you bought this? It was just... Oh, my God.
I don't think we ever bought the fact that she popped out a hand. Let's be honest.
Remember when we did this to you? Everybody, give me... Okay, I just want everybody's favorite standout moment. There's too much to go through. Everybody's favorite standout moment before we get to the end to talk about Rock and Punk show, Cena, and that whole thing. Because that's the only really thing that coming out of the show, other than someone winning a certain belt, has anything. Joe, what was your favorite standout moment of this show?
I'm happy from the Miz Christian match all the way through Lita beating Heath Slater.
So you like this, and you like the
There's 3 segments.
I know that all the way through. Pardon me. No, HBK, Brock, Heyman, and Stephanie.
Oh, she was so good.
Yeah. It was good to see her back. Even though I still don't like the fake boobs. Still a beautiful woman though. But yeah, watching Lita get in the ring and hit a beautiful moonsault on a Heath Slater, I miss it. She was one of the best divas in my opinion, and they need to bring her back.
Can't believe you actually paid attention to the moonsault.
Fantastic. So was that clothesline. Holy crap.
I love the boob salt, okay?
That's about like it.
Lee, what was your favorite moment?
There's a few actually. I am going to go against probably everybody and say the AJ Bryan wedding was good. I thought the reveal was quite good. I don't see a problem with AJ as the GM. She's the craziest bitch around. Why not put her in charge? That just makes life even crazier. And going on to Punk at the end, without going too much into it, he's now turned on. Well, suggestively turned on whatever. AJ and Punk can now team up again. What a combination that could be. Be bloody great. I also liked The Undertaker and Kane coming back. It was just one of those where you needed to see him on that show.
Oh, that was pure is what that was.
Say again, sorry?
That was pure candy, is what that was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
And just think, like, you got another 6 months before we see Taker again.
I know. I'm going to be quite impressed when he shows up at a house show next week and something like that.
All right.
No, but,
go on.
I was just going to say as well, the Heath Slater, throughout this last 5-6 weeks has really, really done himself justice, and he should be really proud of what he's done. To be quite honest, because I would say he's actually got over from being beaten the shit out of by legends.
Well, yeah, and there's something to be said for guys who could go out there and take a beating from a variety of different people with different experience levels and different times away from the ring. That he's able to work with them. Granted, I mean, one of the hardest things that I've been told by a few people anyway is that it's easy to look like you hit a move. It's harder to make it look like you can take the move and make that move look impactful.
It's harder to sell. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
there you go.
And I think a lot of the fans that are rallying behind Heath Slater are fans like us that appreciate the craft and look at it and go, all right, you know what? We shit on you in NXT. We thought you were crap when you came in here, but we got to give you your due. You did a great job, and that's what he did. Mike, what was your standout moment for Raw?
I had two of them. I really enjoyed the Rock Punk Bryan segment when Punk and Bryan were face to face and the Rock's music hit. That was a great moment in the show. I also really enjoyed the Undertaker and Kane segment. I like seeing the Undertaker come out, especially. Is it just me, or did he look like he was in better shape than he was at WrestleMania and younger than he looked at WrestleMania?
It was the hair. It was that little bit of hair on top really helped. But yeah, you're right. He looked good.
Yeah. Those are my two standout moments for me.
Oh, no, I have one more. Sorry, I have one more.
Oh, geez,
Too late.
Fine, fuck you. What? Yeah. No, the one thing I have to give credit for, even if it's for one night, is thank you WWE for changing Nickelback. Good God.
Yes.
No.
Good God. I don't care how bad the theme song is now, but it's much better. Even if that was for one night, Nickelback. Good God, they are the
Everybody wanted the old Raw theme to come back.
That was never going to happen.
You never know.
No, they don't really. They only recycle themes for mid-carders. They don't recycle themes for entire shows. Rob, come on, buddy. What was your absolute standout moment for Raw 1000?
I did kind of like the Rock Punk Bryan segment. I also liked Bret Hart coming out and giving his introduction for The Miz. But I was a big fan of the Lita and Heath Slater match. I thought that was pretty well done, and Lita doesn't look like she's lost too many steps since she left the WWE.
No, she looked just like she looked like she never left. I mean, I know it's kind of cliche, but you're absolutely right, Rob. I mean, she looked fantastic. Mine, and I'll kick the garbage, and then we'll go to the chat. Mine was the AJ becoming the GM, and I don't give a shit if you think she's going to be good or bad or what. I don't care if you don't like her or you like her or you're sexist or you're not. The fact is, the WWE had two problems going into that. And they had this shit wedding storyline that they were going through. I'm sorry, they had three. They had the shit wedding storyline that they were going through that we all were rolling our eyes at. They had
I liked it.
What we were talking about, exactly what Mike Garvin and I were talking about on our wrestling pre-show for almost 30 minutes, was what are they going to do with AJ with this storyline coming to an end? If they go to the Divas division, she could languish and then lose all that heat. And the Raw GM vacancy. 3 birds, 1 stone. When can you imagine the WWE pulling an end around like that and doing it so perfectly? I mean, I just looked at that and went, that is so clever, because they built all this up with AJ, and now they can keep it going without having to put her anywhere near a Divas match.
You call it clever. I call it a Hail Mary pass.
See, Rob, it's so cynical, and I think that's the wrong way to look at it. I think you got to look at it and think about it shows to me that the WWE knows they have a problem with the Divas division, and they don't want to bury talent. They don't want to lose talent to it. At least to me, I just look at it and I'm just like, I marked out of it because I was like, that is just give it credit where credit's due. I gotta tip my hat to the WWE creative for coming up with that. That was just a genius move. Garb, your standout moment for...
Yeah, I want to echo everything you guys said. By far, this was my favorite Raw.
Okay, thank you. Moving on.
But Even though Rob sort of stole my thunder, my favorite moment was, well, twofold. The first one was Bret Hart's introduction to The Miz. He was very excited about Christian, and then The Miz.
I didn't even pick up on that.
It's like you tried not even to say it. It's like Christian and his opponent.
The Miz.
Yeah, it was awesome. The other thing was Lawler referred to Cole at least 3 times. He called him JR.
Nice.
He did. Oh,
right. See, I've gotten so used to not paying King any attention. I must have missed that, but that's awesome.
I was willing to disregard all mistakes last night, but I could not disregard that one. It was too good.
They made a huge mistake last night that I thought was a big change for the company, but turned out to just be one segment. When they're showing the Steve Austin beer bath, they were showing the WWF scratch logos in the background, unblurred.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe they made a deal with Panda, but nope. The next segment, they're back to blurring again.
Yeah, I mean, they had. I wouldn't be surprised if a couple slips through. You gotta wonder.
It'll be such a shame if they don't agree a deal, because at the end of the day, everybody knows what the logo is. No one cares. Just unscratch. What's the damage, for God's sake?
Yeah, if you gotta blur WWF.com, I get, okay, fine. That's even though
that's fine.
Even though the World Wildlife Fund is not a company, it's an organization. Should have a .org, not a .com.
No.
Man, this is just
asshats.
Can't they just write them a check for $250,000 and say, we just want to unblur all of our old footage from '98 up until 2002. When we put out DVDs, we'll just not blur it.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, so Chet's saying it was the most hype, delivered the least. Could have done without the tout and Twitter shit, which I agree. That and the product placements got a little out of hand. I mean, they had the...
I'd say multiply that by like 5 would be okay as long as you got rid of Charlie fucking Sheen.
That was it. Charlie Sheen on Skype. God, that was terrible.
The social media ambassador who deleted his Twitter account the day after they announced it.
That was hilarious. To be fair, though, Tout wasn't that bad last night. I thought it was going to be insanely bad. But to be fair, they only showed it twice.
Well, they didn't overdo it.
Yeah, and that girl on the roller skates was just brilliant. I just thought that was hilarious.
I would have liked to seen a tout from The Undertaker about his appearance.
There was a picture, I forgot who released it, but it was X-Pac, Billy Gunn and Taker, all wearing DX shirts. Jumping back to that Ministry of Darkness bullshit. Not the ministry, the corporate
ministry.
Finale was the only good part. Anyone see Paul Heyman bruise face from the slap? Anybody else notice if Heyman's face looked bruised? Because Stephanie came hard.
Yeah, that's partly due to that bruising's due to diabetes. Because you can't tell me that man doesn't have diabetes.
I'm Wilford Brimley. I got the diabetes.
I'm Paul Heyman, and I have diabetes. Yeah, I don't know.
The extreme diabetes.
Or he could do it like Bret Hart. I've got diabetes.
Yeah, see, I have to disagree slightly with Harrison calling that the greatest intro ever, because Bret Hart could have made it just a little bit better. Just like, here's Christian, and he's facing this asshole over here.
That guy. Delita versus Slater was the longest Divas match all year, which is probably pretty fair. I mean, that thing lasted forever. And in relation to the Hail Mary of AJ being GM, sometimes the Hail Mary works, and they're saying Hail Mary for sure. I disagree with that. One bone of contention we got about the Jerry Lawler comment from Diva Jill saying, wow, King just made AJ sound like a whore. Quote, so many superstars are going to use their... Cool.
Yeah.
Poor choice of words.
Somebody defend... I forget the fan that defended him. Are you sure the WWE's feeding him lines? You sure he's behaving? Uh-huh. Yeah, okay.
See, Hasn't that kind of been her character, though? I mean, she kept going from Bryan to Punk to Kane to, she flirted a little bit with Michael Cole during that interview a few weeks ago. And, I mean, to me, it made a little bit of sense.
I don't want to discuss this. I mean, I didn't even. The only reason I thought was just that it's such a ridiculous comment. I just thought it was like just such. I mean, I can't stand law other than the next guy. Clearly, he did not mean anything by it, but it's just so unfortunate. That's what he said. So here we are. Two things. I mean, Miz is now the IC championship. Bam, or the IC champion. Bam. How about that? Beating out Christian. Of all things.
I have a question to ask everybody at this point. Sure. Because this was a debate that happened on Twitter after he won.
Okay.
Is Miz now
Triple Crown?
No. Well, that's the question. Is he a Grand Slam? He's held four titles: U.S., Intercontinental, WWE, and Tag Team titles. Does that not count as a Grand Slam because he's got 4 different titles?
You need the World Champ. It's four different. I thought it was 4 different singles titles, and you need to have the World Championship.
It can't be because back when Bret Hart got it, he didn't. Or was it Bret Hart? The other guys have gotten it without a European championship or a hardcore championship.
Yeah, I would definitely call Miz a Grand Slam winner.
Let me interrupt here. I agree too. He should be, but on Tout today, he released a message saying that he was a Triple Crown. So that's what he called himself. Why he left out the U.S. title, I'm not sure. So maybe there's some kind of bureaucracy
some type of tier. Well, if they've got some type of tier where WWE and World title on the same level, Intercontinental and US are on the same title, and then there's the Tag Team Championship.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Then nobody will ever get to be a Grand Slam champion because we probably will never have a 4th tier or a 3rd tier title again, like we did with the European and the Hardcore Championship or the Light Heavyweight Championship.
No,
suck it, Trebek.
Well, no, that's a fair point, Joe. That's a rat hole of a discussion if I've ever heard one. I don't know, but the same thing though is that if that's the case, if he's a triple champion and you look at the U.S. title and the Intercontinental title as the same level, then he's been a triple. I mean, he's been a Triple Crown winner or whatever for months now since he won the tag title because he's had the U.S. he had the U.S. forever. He won the WWE and he was tag champion. I mean, he had 2 at the same time, so...
Yeah, so whatever the fuck.
Yeah, anyway, no, it's a really good point. Anyway, so Miz, decent push coming, right? I mean, you would hope so.
Yeah.
At least for me, because hometown hero. Good boy. Chad saying I thought Grand Slam was tag, Euro, Intercontinental, and Heavyweight, which might be true. And the U.S. title came over from WCW, which is true. The U.S. title was WCW's. So
basically, we didn't bring the world title over from WCW. We just took it off TV for like a month and then rebranded it, and it counts. Fuck you.
Yeah, and they did the same thing with the U.S. title. It went away for a few years, and they just decided to bring it back one day.
Yeah, so then it should count.
I don't see why not. Well, anyway, Rock, Cena, Punk, and Show. There it is. I mean, it seems like everybody's infatuated with the idea that someone needs to make a heel turn in regards to this, whether that's Cena, Punk, or anyone. Did we get a heel turn from Punk?
I'd say no.
Not fully. We had a hint of it.
Yeah.
So heel turn?
That's kind of what it seemed like to me, like a partial heel turn, like they might be building up towards the heel turn, but I didn't see anything that I would consider a heel turn at Raw.
See, to me, I saw the tease of the heel turn when he didn't help John Cena when Big Show was beating him up. To me, he went heel when he clotheslined The Rock, who actually did come out to help Cena.
Yeah. Yeah, to me,
I saw that as a heel turn if there ever was one.
Well,
yeah, but looking at Rock and Cena, and I mean that he pretty much pulled that Rock pretty much pulled a heel role for a while. It could be said that Punk's attacking the heel, that The Rock is the heel,
and Punk has got such a big fan base as well that he's built up. I can't just because he attacks The Rock. Ever since he started his little crusade last year, he's been, he's criticised The Rock. He said, he's never here, from Dwayne, and stuff like that. So it's just like, is it really a heel? He's only doing really what he did before. He's on to the Rock.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think people will boo him, but I think that was a heel turn, and I think what has everyone confused is we haven't seen a heel turn in the longest time. People just one day their face and the crowd starts cheering or booing them, and now they're a heel, or they're a heel like Punk was last year, and all of a sudden people just started cheering him, and without any kind of official turn.
You have Daniel Bryan's problem, where he was a heel, comes out with the yes chant, and all of a sudden now he's a face because everyone chats.
Yeah.
Well, you've got Jericho as well.
The Jericho Ziggler thing is going to be the most interesting thing to me because they're both heels.
Yeah, but they both get cheers.
Yeah, that was the other thing. I mean, it's such a state of flux. I mean, we were talking about that extensively on Saturday when we were having our roundtable about heels and faces, and can you really define it anymore? At least at that level, I don't know. When Raw ended, Lawler asked, why did CM Punk turn his back on the WWE Universe? However, WWE.com posted an article that made it seem like it was justified he was sending a message to The Rock. Is this a sign that maybe even the WWE isn't even sure how they want to play this?
I'd say it was more of a sign that WWE want you to pick whose side you're on. I think, we said Jericho, we said Ziggler. There's like more than ever. I won't take credit for this because this is not my words. But more than ever, there's no real face or heel kind of thing. It's more everyone's got a little bit of like an edge. Like what Punk did, you can be against it, you can love it. Cena may be the exception because everybody, supposedly bums Cena. But like Ziggler's got the little edge. Jericho's got the edge. I really do think they're just trying to make it just scrap the whole traditional playbook.
See, Lee, that's actually a really good point. I mean, because the chat brought up a great point, which is even after Punk gave the GTS to Rock, they were cheering. He got chance. So, the fans are just as conflicted as everybody else about, how do we play this?
I think that's a good thing, though, in a way, because although the typical, face versus heel will make a lot of money, this is also one of those things where Punk is that popular and The Rock is clearly that popular that it can just work. But as long as it's got a decentish story behind it, it could just work.
Chet's saying the only way they can see CM Punk turn heel is if they bring up the fact that he had been overlooked and not getting enough respect. Just a guess. Also, wasn't this the guy who was out to get rid of Cena from the top spot? And also, it was just a message to The Rock, nothing else. Like, we're reading too much into it. I don't know. I think I think the problem is we have such amazing personalities and such huge names in wrestling right now there that lightning has struck and we're still getting the afterflash of it and we still haven't seen the fallout yet. Like, it's still like it happened and, we just kind of let it sink in a bit. I mean, what do you think, Mike?
I think it's a shame that the fallout from Raw last night is we won't see The Rock for another few months, 5 months now. We won't get his react unless he does something, live via satellite. I mean, it could have been a message to The Rock, but the fact that he didn't help Cena when Big Show was beating him down, I think that was a big, to me, that was a big sign that.
Yeah, that there might be a heel turn coming, something like that.
Yeah.
Joe, what do you think?
I like, I don't know. I like that they're teasing a heel turn, but I just don't. I don't know. I think Lee was right with there's not really a face or heel anymore. Even though that's the only way we have to really define things, and we're still stuck in the old formula. We need to get to wrestling 2.0.
Yeah. I think the other thing that's really making us question ourselves is the way WWE did it. Like when WWE did it, their CM Punk's facial expressions and their camera angles suggested, that he did this, as a heel because, he looked back with that glaze, and WWE went tight on his face. Then you saw him walk up the aisle with a big long shot looking back, as if it was like a heel character. So they're kind of influencing, they're confusing us, and this is why we're here.
That's a really good point. Rob, what do you think?
I think Lee made a good point. I think as a whole, wrestlers are starting to get out of the traditional face and heel roles and are starting to move into more of a tweener role, trying to to just, I don't know if act like normal people would be appropriate, but, just trying to develop like actual personalities as opposed to, okay, I've got to be a good guy. How do I make that work with my character? I've got to be a bad guy. How do I make that work with my character? To just, okay, here's my character. I'll let the fans respond to it, and we go from there.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. Last night, we were supposed to see the beginning of the huge summer angle. Assuming that the end of Raw was it, this whole thing that we're discussing with The Rock and Cena and Punk and Big Show, as well as AJ becoming GM, are you excited about where this is going? Lee?
I think I am, really. There was a lot of doubt, as to how WWE would hook us during the 3-hour shows and what they would do, to really get us going. And we had massive ratings yesterday, considering. And the end was a nice little tease. We said this earlier on. To introduce, supposedly the people who used to watch. Punk, his heel turn. Let's see where it goes from here. As such, as long as they can sustain, a decent storyline, which has been their issues, and develop, more than ever need to develop their 3-hour, their undercard for the 3-hour shows. It's going to be about, the main thing for me is the consistency throughout the show, because people were saying it started to drag the 3-hour show towards the end of yesterday's show. And that was during a massive event, so they've really got to keep their speed and timing up, to me.
Okay. Joe, what do you think about that? Are you excited where this is going for this summer?
Oh, totally. I can't wait to see AJ in the role, because I want to see to what dynamic it will change. Not the main event picture, not the Daniel Bryan picture, not the CM Punk picture, not the Kane picture, but the entire rest of the WWE on Raw. I want to see her impact on everything else, not just the little nuggets we've seen, the little wedges we've seen. I want to see her character just get involved in other shit and see where it goes. I want to see that chaos.
Okay. Rob, what do you think?
I'm not really excited. I mean, given everything that we've seen, there's potential there, but as of late, the WWE has shown that they're exceptionally good at coming up with something that has the potential to be awesome and then just dropping the ball.
Okay, yeah, I want to say you're going to be cynical, but you're probably going to bring up like 15 different examples. Oh,
yeah.
What about you, buddy? You excited about summer, basically the summer series of WWE?
Actually, I agree a little bit with Rob. I mean, I'm taking I'm not excited, but I'm taking more of a wait and see approach. The AJ's GM, I want to see her interact with everybody else. I don't think she was the right choice as GM. I think they're just trying to strike while, they're trying to strike while the iron is still hot with her.
Yeah.
They're just trying to milk everything that they can out of her right now.
Who would you have put in the role?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't have anyone better that I would have put in as a GM. We kind of talked about this on Saturday. The only person that I would definitely have as a GM would be Teddy Long for SmackDown. I really didn't have a good answer for Raw. As for CM Punk, I want to see if he can be a heel that he can make the WWE Universe boo him. Is what I'm anxious to see. I mean, if anyone can pull it off, he can. He's done it before where he's gotten the crowd to boo him, and just wait and see, I guess. I'll see where they go with SummerSlam and then kind of make kind of go from there.
Yeah, the only one out of these two things that we got going on here, the only one that I'm really, on both of these, I'm kind of meh about, just kind of like worried if it's going to get screwed up, with AJ being GM, because there's a lot of potential there of something that could be really, really cool. And Punk turning heel, that's just one of those things that, I am more than willing to admit I'm wrong when I'm wrong, but I really have a hard time seeing a crowd turning on him. The reaction he gets Chicago's a special case, but even at Madison Square Garden or Miami or, where it's just like the wrestling psychopathic fans like us that show up that just go crazy for this guy, because he does the whole, he does everything. He does the clobbering time. He signals for Macho Man before he drops the elbow. he's so inside, and you just get the feeling he's one of us, that the idea that we would hate him is such a difficult thing to grasp. However, I do absolutely think that if it was him versus Rock, he could get heat for that match. Like, I think he could get you excited to see that, but only because you want to see either he shut Rock up, Rock shut him up, I don't know. But I just have a hard time seeing us turn on Punk, because he just feels like if the IWC was a professional wrestler, it would be CM Punk.
Mm-hmm. And one thing that I kind of wonder is why they turned him heel.
Yeah, I know. It's not like he's like slowing down. I mean, he's constantly hitting his stuff. The only thing I can think of is that if you're going to put him against Rock, there's no way in hell Rock's going to come back as a heel unless they play up the thing that he left and he does movies and he says he's going to come back and he shows up like a diva to get the belt and that kind of thing. But that's kind of shooting themselves in the foot.
Mm-hmm. Shock factor.
Yeah. I would have rather seen someone like, and I know he's out on suspension for another week, but have Randy Orton come back as a monster heel. Have him come back and be the foil to John Cena, or even turn someone like Sheamus.
If you did CM Punk on Raw and Randy Orton on SmackDown as two of the top heels, you could make money off that.
Yeah.
That's kind of what Big Show's supposed to be, is that monster heel that's taking on Cena, but you can tell the crowd was tired of it. I mean, that's all we got on Twitter, like, show again.
Big Show's been in this place like several times. It's like, I've said it before, it's a really good spot, don't get me wrong, but when the announcers say, Cena's picked up Big Show and stuff, it's like, just watch one match between them before. It's been done so many times.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so moving on. I know we've danced around it, but point right at you guys. I want a yes or no answer. Do you think AJ was the right choice for GM? Lee?
As Mike said, I'm not really sure who else it could have been. I'm going to say yes. I think it's a good choice. Nice and crazy bitch in charge of Raw. Sounds about right.
Mike?
No, I don't. But like I said, wait and see.
Okay. Rob?
Nope.
Joe?
No, I think it's fine. I like it. It's better than Hornswoggle.
Yeah, I'm loving it. Yeah, absolutely better than Hornswoggle. Garv?
Vince's left nut would be better than Hornswoggle.
Mike as the cat would be better than Hornswoggle.
Exactly.
But
yes.
Mike as the cat versus Ernest the cat in a match. That'd be good.
I am completely behind this AJ decision. I think this is a good move.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And the final one is the fans strangely voted to see Punk versus Rock instead of Rock versus Cena for the title. That kind of surprises me. I mean, it was on Twitter, so maybe all the kids couldn't get permission to use the computer from their parents.
Wasn't Rock Cena only supposed to be one time in the history of the world?
We talked about that on Saturday. It was what? What was it? It wasn't.
It was the tag match. Was first time last time.
Again or whatever. And then WrestleMania was once in a lifetime, but they could argue that it's on WrestleMania. So I don't know. But anyway, Punk handily beating Cena to see a match against Rock. I mean, you got to find that kind of surprising. Or am I the only one that was surprised?
I wouldn't find it surprising.
Really?
Go on.
What I was surprised by was that 10% of the WWE universe wanted to see Big Show versus The Rock.
Yeah, that's clearly some kind of error. Or a bunch of people. Then 10% of the people on Twitter wanted to troll the WWE.
It's that 10% margin of error.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel though about Cena? I mean, WWE.com even said it in a recent article. The cash-in was done. No more Raw. No more WWE Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yeah. See how big a deal they make of it. They've just kind of skipped over it for the minute. But see how big a part it plays next Monday.
Well,
let's see what Cena's reaction is to see if he feels like he really failed or was let down or.
Oh, I lost the belt. Oh, what a shame. Anyway, moving on.
Golly.
That's fair. All right, so now it is time for Ask FTW. You can ask us questions by emailing questions at ftwpodcast.com or send us a tweet at ftwpodcast by using the hashtag AskFTW and post it on our Facebook wall, facebook.com/FTWpodcast. Gary on Facebook, who was more than happy to hear that Magnus is from Kings Lynn in England. I'm guessing that's a city as well. If that's a city, people have really cool names for cities. It was about Impact and the Aces and Eights thing. It was awesome. We talked about it earlier, Gary. Thank you so much. If you want to have a response for us, more than welcome to post on our Facebook page and let us know. Balthazar emailed us, out of the 1,000th episode of Raw, how many episodes have you guys missed?
I've got from Raw. Go on.
No, it's okay, Lee. You want to step on Joe's toes? Go, Lee.
I don't want to step on Joe's toes. That's why I was giving Joe the first call.
No, Lee, go ahead. I would value your opinion, and I want to hear your information.
Oh, you're talking. So
And that's seconds. Thank you so much, Mike. How many episodes have you missed?
Bangers and mash, bangers and mash.
Fuck you and your Popeye chicken, bitch.
Lee, you have full right to just stab them.
Stab them?
My blimey dominoes.
And time. Thank you so much. Joe, how many episodes have you missed of the 1,000 episodes of Raw?
Here's the catch. I didn't have cable for a very long time. I didn't have access to any stations that WWE was on for most of the 90s up until probably about 2005, 2006, somewhere around there. So I missed a lot.
All right. Rob, how many episodes have you missed?
I've missed a lot. I don't even want to try to count.
4.
But oh no, it's definitely more than 4.
That's how many you caught.
Fuck you, Joe.
I've missed more than 3/4. Just because it's hard to believe 1,000 episodes. It's just mind-boggling. Anyway, Lee, Mike, real quick, just so that you guys can get the thing, and then you can let us know.
Lee, I would like you to go first.
Thank you so much, Michael, dear. I've started watching from 2002 onwards, but I have just got 1998 onwards till the current day's Raw, so I am working my way back through them.
Wow. Okay. Mike, how many have you missed?
I watched the first year of Raw. I stopped watching for about 2 years, and I've been watching Raw since late 1995.
There you go. Marathon, man. There you go, everybody. That's your goal to beat. Thank you, Balthazar. Mike emailed in saying that Raw was basically complaining about Raw. We appreciate the email. Basically said, he's like, he was just complaining about it, but we talked about it for like 30 minutes. So, I don't know what there is to complain about. But thank you for emailing, Mike. More than happy to hear your opinion next week. Lou Tube Wins wrote in as well about the heels and faces thing. We answered that as well. Thank you so much for tweeting us, though. That was awesome. More than happy to tweet us next week. Midwest Prince 82 said he would like to see CM Punk versus Rock versus Taker at WrestleMania billed as Taker's first triple threat match. Both Rock and Punk want to end the streak and win the WWE title. Good idea, bad idea? Joe.
What?
Jesus Christ.
Skip me. I'm
0
done.
for 2.
Mike, go.
Bad idea. Don't like it.
Okay. Lee?
Nah, no in WWE and the word triple threat. No.
Okay. Rob?
Horrible idea. Just no. God awful.
Yeah, not at WrestleMania. Maybe SummerSlam or something. I think it'd be awesome, but definitely not WrestleMania. Also, he wrote in 2 other ones I want to lump together. Would like to see Christian versus Cena for the World Heavyweight title at Mania, and would like to see people either add R-Truth, Kofi, or Ezekiel Jackson. Thoughts on those, Rob?
Christian versus Cena could be an interesting match. Not so sure about the other one, but Christian versus John Cena, yeah, I think those 2 guys could work well together and put on a decent match.
Okay. Lee?
I disagree. I think we saw Christian versus Cena in like 2005, if I'm right, before Jericho left, and before Christian left. Didn't really like it that much, to be honest. I can't see it being up there. If AEW's stable, though, I think that'd be a good little plan, actually. R-Truth, Kofi, Ezekiel, anybody, just to add to it. Build it up. Why not?
Okay. Mike?
I'd like to see Christian versus Cena in a face versus face match. I think would be pretty good. I don't think Christian has too much interest in being a heel anymore as he's getting up there in his career. As for the stable, it could work. I'd give it a shot. maybe one throw Ezekiel Jackson in there, but yeah, that looks okay.
Okay. Mike, I'm sorry, Joe.
No, if you want Mike to go on again, that's fine. No, I like the idea of Christian versus Cena. AW Stable needs to have them actually accomplish something to get people to want to join the stable. As of right now, there's nothing for them to entice people.
Yeah, I gotta echo Joe entirely with that one. Doing a stable would give them something to work with. Plus, then they don't have to worry about having a tag team. You can break them up and have them singles wrestle and still have AW out there to generate heat. I'm with Mike, too. I don't think Christian really wants to turn heel, but Christian versus Cena for the World Heavyweight title at Mania, there's no way in hell they're going to do that to Christian. If they do, then it's very clear that's his last match. It'd be retirement. It'd be thank you so much. This is what we wish we could do with Edge. I mean, that's what it would be. Real quick correction with Midwest Prince Wodison saying that it was Taker's first triple threat match at Mania. Not quite. He actually had a triple threat match at WrestleMania 19. Undertaker versus A-Train and The Big Show. You don't really hear much.
But that was supposed to be a tag match, though.
Well, yeah, it was still
he
three
was supposed to have Nathan Jones, and Nathan Jones flipped out.
Nathan Jones!
G'day, mate.
My favorite part of that match was as A-Train and who's the other guy in the match?
No.
Who was his tag team partner?
Big Show.
Big Show, yeah. As they were walking out, A-Train did the most heelish thing ever when he messed with the mirrors on Undertaker's bike. That could have caused a serious accident.
And this is from WrestlingNewsSource.com's Facebook page. AJ, GM, Punk, WWE Champion, they could rule the WWE, which is amazing. Any chance that they'll all work together, kind of like Triple H and Stephanie. Basically see like AJ and Punk become the new Triple H and Stephanie. Well, Lee, this was on your Facebook page. What you think?
Well, considering I wrote it, I'm probably going to say I agree.
Trying to kind of, give you, okay, fine. What do you think?
I don't like it. I'd rather see AJ stand independent and really fuck with anybody who tries to get in good with her.
Wow. Yes. Exactly. Mike.
First of all, for more wrestling analysis like that from Lee, make sure to go to WrestlingNewsSource.com. Yeah, I think it'd be neat if they worked together, if they were the new power couple. It's a good concept. The way Punk left things with AJ, it definitely leaves things open for them to work together.
Rob?
I could see where it might be a good thing, but at the same point in time, we've seen it done with Triple H and Stephanie, and the WWE didn't really do that as well as they probably could have. We saw it again with Edge and Vicky Guerrero. I don't want to see them recycle the same storyline again. Yeah,
that's the one thing. I like this idea, but then Rob, exactly. Edge and Vicky. I don't know. I mean, like Joe said, AJ standing on 2 feet would be pretty awesome. Although I do like the idea that Mike backhand compliments Lee and then goes on to say this was a really good point that he brought up for discussion. So, moving on to news. Official Karma is done with the WWE as Mike predicted. What else? It's been reported that Velvet Sky, Devon, and Bully Ray are all negotiating contracts with TNA. I gotta be honest, out of those three, it's probably Devon and Bully Ray that are going to be the big ones. WWE.
Actually, it's PW Torch was reporting today that Velvet Sky will not be renewing her contract.
Really?
Yeah. They posted a little blurb today. PW Torch is independently confirmed. Reports that TNA Knockout Velvet Sky is on her way out of the company. Sky, who's been with TNA since 2007, does not plan to re-sign a contract. Sky's been the latest Knockout to part ways with the company, with the most recent being former Beautiful People tag team partner Angelina Love. Sky is not advertised for this week's Impact or upcoming house show tours.
Man, that is a travesty. Velvet Sky was awesome. All right, so Devon and Bully Ray are looking to negotiate new contracts, and really those two could not possibly be in better positions, especially Bully Ray. WWE's ratings continue to rise. Are we wrong in feeling that WWE's product has been subpar as of late? Because face it, it's easy for us to shoot, shit at them, but if the numbers are going up, they're doing something right.
No, but you also have a lot more kids who are off on summer vacation who now get to stay up past 9 o'clock.
Yeah, that's actually probably 100% right. Joe,
Booyah!
and think about it that way.
Suck it, Trebek.
Well, I was thinking about, because when we were talking about on Saturday, we were talking about no Monday Night Football.
No, that's also a contributing factor.
Yeah, but I mean,
there's no competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because
What are they going to do? Order a pizza and get garlic in her dressing everywhere?
Herb. It's Herb, right?
Oh, you mean the guy who's on WKRP in Cincinnati? That guy, the sleazy?
Serb? Is that what it is? Serb?
I if you get some kind of bone stuck in your chicken next time, by the way, just so you know.
That's why I always get the boneless chicken breast, motherfucker. Yeah.
I tell you what, one day the boneless chicken breast will not be boneless, just for you.
Take it back.
Lee's going to try and stick his bone in my chicken.
Okay, Rob, what do you think?
I'm not stuffing your chicken.
I think it's no. I don't think. I think we're right in saying that their product has been subpar. It has been. I think it's mainly summer. There's no real competition, and a lot of people are convinced that the WWE is professional wrestling. So whether they like it or not, they're told to tune in next week. They tune in next week.
Why did I ask you? You're such a cynic. Rob, I love you, but damn, you hate WWE.
Not being kind tonight.
No. What is it? No,
I hate shitty wrestling. Whether it's TNA, when TNA did stupid stuff, I called them out on it too. I will call any company out when they do something crappy.
You know what, Rob? You're like when disco first came out and all the rock guys hated it. I mean, it was justified, but also it was like, man, they really hated disco. So,
well, that might be because I am kind of a rock and roll guy myself. But
there you go. You like a little gritty substance to your stuff. You don't like chintz and glam, and it's hardcore. I like that. A little blood in your knuckles.
Parkour.
Parkour. I mean, look, I don't know. This is one of those things where it's like, I mean, mitigating factors, stuff like that. I mean, we can play it off how we want to, but this is why we make a point on this show to not just sit here and shit on the product, because we respect it too much. And this is when, if you go on and on and on about how much WWE sucks and WWE sucks, you know, if you want to shoot at Rob, when they do something right, he's the first one to say they did something right. But if you shoot on all the time, this kind of flies in the face of what you're saying. So, and it's dangerous. Anyway, Shawn Michaels blocked Mike on Twitter. I'm not going to spend any time. I'm not doing it. No. You know what, Mike? If you want us to talk about this, start your own show. Wins.
But wait. It says here on the doc that we're supposed to spend 10 minutes pleading and begging him to take me back.
And now it doesn't. All right. Time for
I think I got my fail of the week.
Women wrestlers aren't getting paid? Why do you do a job?
Here is your win.
You do any job,
and fail
is to fucking get paid!
of the week.
Wins of the week, Joe.
I've actually got 2 wins of the week this week. The first one is going to be the Bully Ray Magnus match on Impact. I really enjoyed watching that match. It's good to see Magnus in front of the cameras again, doing what he does well. The other thing was seeing Lita back on Raw. She's a diva who's been missed sorely. She was one of the last few not only good-looking divas, but could actually fucking wrestle. So it was good to see her back. Good to see her hit a twist of fate. Good to see her do the boob salt off the top rope. It was wonderful. So that's my win.
Mike, you're winning.
Pervy Uncle Mike liked that. I have 2 wins of the week as well. My first win of the week is WWE popping that monster rating, or at least by 2012 standards, for Raw 1000 last night. They did a 3.89 rating, I want to say. They're ridiculous. Their 2 normal hours broke an average of 4.0. First time they've done that since 2009. My other win of the week is just being American. USA, USA, USA.
Lee, time for your win of the week.
Oh, how
I
coincidental.
love that. Ugh.
Well, my first win of the week is this pizza, because it is rather appetizing despite the price.
And the fact that Domino's.
And the fact that it's Domino's. And I've got to give the win of the week, in all seriousness, to WWE just for the whole show. There's nothing really that was bad. It was all good fun. Everybody pretty much enjoyed it. We were all unanimous in saying it was good fun to watch. And it's once in a lifetime kind of show to watch, and it was really, really good.
Rob, your win of the week.
My win of the week will go to the WWE. Fuck you, Harrison. Lita. I found it amusing that Lita performs the Twist of Fate better than either of the Hardys, who are supposed to be the innovators of that move. And that's pretty much my win of the week right there.
That's the first time we've seen someone sober do the Twist of Fate in probably 10 years.
Rob, I laughed because I had that exact same thought when she hit it. I went, wow, that was awesome. That was much better than the Hardys could do in TNA. My win of the week was AJ being GM. I just, like I was saying earlier, it was such a clever end around to solve basically 3 problems going in. It was so great. And I just, if it wouldn't have been weird for my dogs and my wife to see me just stand up and slow clap in the middle of my living room for no reason at all, I would have. But just, I got to give credit where credit's due. Whoever came back from vacation in WWE Creative and came up with that, good work, buddy. That was just genius, whoever chat saying,
wait, you're worried about your wife and dogs looking at you? You should have heard the comments that are coming out of my mouth with my fiance just a few feet away. Oh my God.
Win from the chat, the end of Raw 1000, DX, and they mentioned Eddie Guerrero, which, yes, absolutely, that was an awesome segment. I mean, you get a little misty-eyed when you saw the belt laid on top of the shirt. Samoa Joe gets another submission win. Yeah, that is actually a really good point. DX and Lita, Punk beating up Rock, Viacom and DirecTV making up. Yes, because now I get to watch Impact again, which it was a dearth of 3 weeks. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you can rest assured the 1% has again gotten what they deserve. Magdalena on our Facebook page said, moment when one-man band Baby got beat up by a chick.
Thanks, Mags.
Jude was saying CM Punk heel turn and the Lesnar Triple H segment. Robert said DX, the Brother of Destruction, Lita, and The Rock got the GTS. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot. Shit.
Lost it now.
Anyway, I'll bring it up. I'm completely blanking on the name, and I don't want to do it. Fails of the week. Your fail of the week. Go, Joe.
My fail of the week is actually related. It was a comment that Stevie Richards, a.k.a. Michael Manna, host of the T4 show, had said on the Facebook. Someone had asked him, or people apparently were asking him if he was going to be at Raw 1000. He says, yes, my segment will be right after the Chris Benoit tribute. While hilarious as shit. Really? Michael, come on. A little low blow. Who do you think you are? Us? Or Mike?
Yeah. Who are we kidding?
Love you, Mr. Manna, but damn.
Lee, your fail of the week.
My fail of the week is... I'm sorry, let me just get my heel mode on. America. Simply because...
Boo!
Yeah, that was pathetic. But simply because it provides so much fatty goodness, so much cheaper food, so much cheaper alcohol, and the fact that everyone here is American and you all are dicks.
Jealousy is not a good look on you.
Hey, Lee, if you ever make it over here, I'll buy you a pint.
Thank you. The real fail of the week will go to WWE, and it will go because in that opening video, there was pretty much every moment I wanted to see in there, except Owen Hart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty bad, that.
Only due to a lawsuit.
Yeah, I know, but it still sucks.
Yeah, Lee, good point. Not a joint on the show, thank you. Mike, your fail of the week.
I have 3 fails of the week. The first,
for fuck's sake.
I know. How much time do we got? The first fail of the week is Charlie Sheen. That was his 3 segments were just horrible. Clearly, he was not watching the show, and he's just not with it anymore. Enough with him. My second fail of the week is Shawn Michaels blocking me on Twitter. Damn you, Shawn. I still love you. My third fail of the week is going to have to go to Ask FTW and Garvin handling Tout. I asked a question on Tout, and Garvin just...
Hey, in Garvin's defense, Tout is a very...
He's just such a mean jerk, the way he plays instruments and puts me down for my question.
I thought it was a good answer.
Tout's very awkward to manage.
Yeah.
God forbid I want to see the people I'm following, only their comments. God, you can't find it.
No. All I wanted to know
is
how many FTW draft points I was going to score, and Garvin responded with as many points as he's going to score for my mom.
With your mom.
With my mom, excuse me.
And it was a lot.
So 248?
Yeah, you should be happy.
161.
Garvin's a gentle lover. You should be happy about that. That's gonna. I'm trying. We really should make that a segment where Garvin answers your questions while playing a random instrument. Like, because either the accordion, the ukulele, the guitar, the bass, the piano. What else you got in your house?
If you want to do one from here, I do have a bassoon in the house.
Okay, so yeah. So we can do that where we all answer questions. Oh God, Garvin just spazzed out in the chat. All right, so Rob, your fail of the week.
Okay, I have like 50 fails of the week.
Trying to outdo me?
I am. No.
You just want your own podcast where you bitch about stuff? Because we can give it to you.
That's what Google Hangouts is for Mike.
Go on, Rob.
My main fail is going to be the wedding between AJ and Daniel Bryan. I've never been a big fan of wrestling weddings during the actual show. They always turn into crappy segments, and I think this one was kind of a letdown too. Yes, I know, Lee. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was upset about the royal wedding too. You want to give me shit for that?
No. I watched it in HD. I was fine.
Okay.
I think it's bad. One of my friends actually married an Englishman and moved over there. And you ask her, "Oh, did you stay up to watch the wedding?" Nope. Do you know anything about your new government? Nope.
Nope.
She's like, well, who's the president? I don't know. There is no president. What? Where's Rome? Isn't it in France? Oh, God. Yep. Anyway.
My fail is Charlie Sheen, but specifically, did it seem like to anybody else that Charlie Sheen kind of challenged Daniel Bryan to a match?
He did challenge Daniel Bryan. He did.
At SummerSlam.
I thought he said at WrestleMania.
No,
it's SummerSlam.
God, imagine how horrible that's going to be.
God.
I cannot. I refuse it. I fail.
I still think they didn't spend money to fly him into Raw only so that they didn't have to have him. They only to keep him away from the Funkadactyls. You know he would have tried to bet him.
I think that challenge was just them. He had no idea that SummerSlam was in L.A. I think he was just going, "Oh, next time you're in L.A., I'll beat you up." And they go, "Oh, well, in 3 weeks we'll be in L.A." And if you notice, he didn't even respond to what they were saying.
Yeah, he was totally out of his mind. He had no. Yeah, I'm not like you said it exactly. He wasn't even watching the show. Fail from the chat. AJ wearing Converse. Boo. That was awesome. King saying Cena gave Punk notice about cashing in. I'm not sure why that's a fail. Didn't he? He did that. No China. Well, that was never going to happen.
The fail in Cena giving prior notice was that King said that nobody had ever done that before when RVD did it at One Night Stand, gave prior notice and cashed it in on Cena.
Yeah. Well, that was way back. That was a thing for
2006.
6 years ago.
Woo. Thank you, Rob. Robert on Facebook said no Stone Cold Steve Austin, dressed not already. AJ being named GM and all the Sheen, boo. Jude on Facebook saying Jerry Lawler's mistake that Cena's cash in was the first time Money in the Bank. RVD did it, yeah. And there's going to be and Chad saying there's going to be Tiger Blood everywhere, and that Arquette is better than Sheen. Only in the same way that losing your leg is worse than herpes. So that's it. our question of the week, which was submitted by Deuce Loosely on our Facebook page. Do you feel better about Punk versus Rock feud, which has legit heat and a background, than Cena and Rock, which dragged its ass throughout the year with very little build and no real beef between them? We're going to put this on our Facebook page. Love to hear from you guys if you'd rather see, if you like the idea of Punk versus Rock over Cena versus Rock, and for whatever reason that's going to be. It's going to be our Facebook page and Twitter. You can definitely hit us up at facebook.com/FTWpodcast and twitter.com/FTWpodcast. Mike, Lee, go ahead and plug away. Whichever one of you wants to go first, I don't care, because you guys are just going to bicker anyway.
Lee, I insist you go first.
No, my friend across the pond. I insist you go first.
People reach you.
Lee, you are a gentleman's gentleman.
You guys are both genitals and scrotums.
All right. First and foremost, go to pwtorch.com. I am one of the SmackDown correspondents. Look for my review every weekend. Usually posted up about on Saturdays. You can follow me on Twitter at MJQPack. I tweet live during Raws and Smackdowns and most WWE pay-per-views. That's about it.
Okay. Lee?
Yeah, you can find me gathering information from pwtorch.com and various other different things at wrestlingnewssource.com. You can also go to twitter.com/WNSource or at WNSource, which has just gone over 21,500 followers. Booyah! And you can visit our Facebook page as well, facebook.com/WrestlingNewsSource. Thank you very much. It's been great.
Don't forget to send those people over to us, man. Jeez.
Well,
Don't as long as Mike doesn't win the next draft, I don't care. Okay, that's all.
Yeah, if you want to see two people bicker and argue like an old married couple, you gotta envy, because they just go to town like just the most terrible old couple. And that's it. That is the show. As you can tell, we're just a bunch of friends that do this in our spare time. We appreciate you joining us. We don't charge a dime for this, but we do work really hard to make sure we put out some quality entertainment for you. We're not asking you to send us money, but if you want to support us, head to FTWpodcast.com and click on the support tab. There you can donate or buy a t-shirt, and it would be awesome. However, if you want to support us, you can also find us, you can also find links there. Rate us on iTunes and Stitcher. Subscribe to us on YouTube and like our videos. Tell your friends. We always love having everybody's opinion. Spread the word and help us help you get through the week that was in professional wrestling. And thank you everyone in the live chat. You guys are the hive mind and you make this show so much better. We record every FTW podcast episode on Tuesdays 8 p.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time at FTWlive.com. Guys, thank you so much for joining us this week. The Raw that was 1,000, and next week, here we are. We're in a new era, 3 hours. Let's see if they can pull it off. And the fact that I can watch TNA again. Yeah! All right, see you guys next Tuesday.
Harrison's a dick.
Harrison's a cock.
Yeah.